Hello, I am so excited that you are here. I hope that you are ready to make things simple in your life. I will tell you that the thing that I hear from employees, from business owners, from parents, from children is complexity. Complexity stops us from doing amazing things in our businesses, growing our people, growing our revenues, and it just stops us in our tracks. And today I want to talk through that. So I'm so excited you're here. Throw a heart up if you are joining me live or in the recording. Nothing wrong with either. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Emily Hawkins. I spent 15 years in the corporate world streamlining processes for productive results. I have an undergraduate degree in supply chain, an MBA in global business, and my goal is to give all of those things to you so that you don't have to spend that kind of money to learn what actually creates a sustainable business so that your small business can thrive and you as the key leader in that small business can thrive. One of the things that I believe makes the biggest difference is 4 things. And if you know me, these are not going to sound completely out of left field. They're going to sound familiar. But the main question is, what do we do with these things, right? So the 4 things are: you want training. Your team needs training. They need support. They need vision. And they need space, right? But what does that mean, right? What does that actually mean for your business? Because there's a complex way of thinking about all of those things, and there's a simplified way. So why do I want to move away from complexity? I see businesses every day that are adding more and more and more and more and more, and they're not ever taking anything away. And that is incredibly dangerous. For everything you add in your business, you should be taking 1 to 2 things away. If you are continuously adding layers, tasks, automations, all the things, all of a sudden you have created a giant ball that will become chaos if you let it. Now, why is complexity so dangerous? Let's talk about this, because I think we have been conditioned, I know I have, that if I say something is complex, then it means I'm really smart, right? So, it's complex. I will challenge you that is not true. I think the people that make you believe that things are complex don't fully understand what they're doing. And if something's complex, you are a little bit less likely to stick with it, right? So right now, if I said, I am going to teach you how to make sure that everyone on your team is doing their job. And it is going to be a 37-step process that will take you 5 hours every Monday. I'm pretty sure that most of you are going to say, no, I don't have time for that. And I might get some great information, but I'm not going to continue to do that, right? So that's the thing, right? Complexity, basically, it ensures that you are not going to continue to do the task. And we all know that the things that make our businesses run are consistency. When we consistently do activities, our businesses thrive, our teams grow, all the things. Consistency is king in our business. Consistency and complexity hate each other. They are not friends. They are oil and water. The more complexity, the less consistency you will have in your business, because you have created something that no one will be able to sustain. My job is to teach you the lazy way of doing everything. I call it the lazy way because doesn't that make you want to do it? It makes me want to do it. Whereas if I say the complex way, guys, this is going to be super complex. Who is tuning out? Who is walking away? If you start conversations with your team, I'm about to share something with you that is incredibly complex. You will see fear show up in people's faces. You are setting them up to fail, and it becomes an ego conversation, right? Oh, complex means smart and I'm not smart. I've never seen myself as smart. No. It has nothing to do with being smart. It doesn't matter. It's about when we do something that we understand what we're doing and we know it affects change and we continue to do it, right? So simple. So simple. So I've made some notes because I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Rigidity will not win in your business. So back to my 37-point plan for you, my 37-step plan that you're going to do every Monday that's going to take you 5 hours. Well, Emily, actually Mondays is when I meet with my team. Mondays is when I'm coming back from photo shoots because I'm a photographer. Mondays is when I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry. This system will not work for you because it has to happen on Mondays. Rigidity sucks. Rigidity will get people to stop doing things faster, maybe than complexity, but they're friends, right? Rigidity and complexity are definitely friends. I do not enjoy being that rigid. It's not sustainable. If something is that rigid, again, you're not going to continue to do it, right? It doesn't fit your business. It doesn't fit your model. It doesn't fit your goals for your company, for your team, what you embrace, what your vision is. So complexity and rigidity are what we want to move away from. So let's talk about what simplicity means and the 4 small strategies that will give you big results. I want to make sure that we are diving into this. Definitely give me a thumbs up, a heart, that you are ready to hear this training. So the first thing I want to talk about is training. I hate this word. I think training sounds like, I don't know, we're in the army, like basic training, which, by the way, I don't think anybody's like, that was fun. It just sounds hard, right? Especially when I'm like, okay, I got to create an onboarding plan for my team. That just sounds really hard and really complex. When at the end of the day, training really just needs to be, why did you hire this person? Why are they on your team? What change do they affect? What systems do they have in their arsenal? What resources, so those are systems and people, do they have in their arsenal? What is that? Very simply, how do they affect change in your organization? And what resources do they have, systems and people, to affect that change? And what does status quo look like versus what does success look like? So I want to share a little story with you on training. So I worked with an organization who came to me and they were pissed. The person that was doing their social media sucked. Okay, I can't do anything with that. I don't have any facts, right? So tell me, what does suck mean? Well, in this case, this company had 4 different lines of business. So they had 4 different social media accounts. So they had 1 social media person running 4 accounts. So let's just get some math here, right? Already complexity, right? Complexity. The company had decided that status quo for social media was posting 4 times a week on the 4 different platforms, or the 4 different businesses. So 4 times 4 is 16, right? So they said we need 16 posts a week going out for our businesses, overall. Complexity, right? Not winning. And they were pissed. Why are you pissed? They were pissed because this person that they hired was doing 4 posts a week per business. Isn't that what you asked them to do? Yes, that is what we asked them to do, but we want them to do more. Okay, so you did a great job of talking to them about what it means to get up to speed, but you did a horrible job telling them what excellence looks like, right? So it's not just getting up to speed, it's what do you expect them to do? What would far surpass what you want? And by the way, I will tell you that's a horrible metric anyway. Like, just posting on social media is not a metric. That is a task. And understanding in my opinion, and this is what we went through, does it matter how many times they're posting, or is it more about what those posts bring to your business? Oh, you're right. It doesn't matter if she only posts 4 times a week per business. It's about what those 4 posts do. Do we get leads? Do we generate business in any way, shape, or form? Do we get conversations with people going? Do we get people in our workshops? That matters more. Do we get followers? Because then you're showing up in their feed more. It became less about how many posts, and it became more about the impact in the business. And all of a sudden, the owner realized, I'm measuring all the wrong things. One, I did not communicate what I deemed excellence was. But at the end of the day, that's not even excellence. Excellence is really like, what is this affecting? What change is this affecting? So on your team, are you so focused on the tasks that they are doing that you forget about the change that you want them to make in your business? There are 3 changes that your employees can make in a business. They can save your business money. They can save your business time, or they can generate revenue in your business. They can do all 3 of those. Some people do, but some people do 1, 2, all 3 is like a salesperson maybe. Are they doing those things? Get down to the brass tacks of things. Simplify. So your training really is, why'd you hire this person? Do they know? Do they know why you hired them? What change do you want them to affect? Saving money, saving time, increasing revenue. And what does excellence look like? What do you deem success for that role? You personally as the owner. What does that look like? It's that simple. So training is really, it can be as simple as a short conversation around those things. Now, in the leadership operating system, I actually give you the lazy onboarding plan to onboard anybody in your company so that they have what they need. But we all know that it's not just about onboarding, because, I look at my marriage, right? The onboarding plan is like getting engaged and married, right? Like, so we go to the courthouse, or in my case, you go to your backyard and get married by a minister you found online. That's a whole other topic for another day. But that's really the onboarding, right? It's like, we're going to go get married. But what does support look like, right? Support looks very different than the onboarding plan. And I think as business owners, we think 2 things about support. One, we forget about it because we onboarded them. They're onboarded. They know the systems. They know they affect change. Go. I will see you in 20 years. We will talk later. Actually, the next time I'm going to talk to you is when I yell at you because you're not doing the right things in the business. Because we have forgotten support. We have forgotten support. Marriages flourish when they have support, right? It's not just about the wedding day. It's about support every day after that. And what does support look like in a marriage? What does support look like for your team? Well, there's actually 2 really easy things. The first one is listening. Listening is key. Listening. I truly believe we were given 2 ears for a reason. They're very important. But you can't just walk up to somebody in your business or, get on a Zoom call and just be silent like this. I'm just here to listen. Okay. And actually, in the leadership operating system, I give you 7 questions for you to ask and stop and listen. These 7 questions have changed how I operate with my team. They have removed assumptions. They have helped my team solve their own problems while using me as the springboard for that. And these 7 questions are incredibly simple, and they are important to leave space for listening. You can actually go through all 7 of these questions within a 15 to 20 minute period maybe 30 minutes if you want the other person to go deeper. You are not asking more. They are telling more. And you will learn so much about that person, what's going on inside your business. And my friends, the thing that kills support, it kills support, is assumption. Assumption will do more damage in your business than anything else. Assuming that someone knows something they don't, assuming that somebody did something, assuming all sorts of things, assuming someone has time for a task. Assumption will kill your business. Listening is how you support others and remove all of those assumptions. So I'm going to give you a personal example. This actually happened when I was in the corporate world. So I went into work one day and our largest client gave their 90 days notice, like, peace out. We are done working with you. They were $2.5 million a month of gross revenue, maybe even closer to 3. So in 90 days, that was going to go away. And by the way, in 90 days, it was going to be June. So we had 6 months of unrecognized revenue that I don't know where we were going to come up with it. And if this client went away, 30 of the 60 employees would also go away. Holy crap balls. We needed to figure this out as soon as possible. Oh, and let me just add, insult to injury, that all the C-levels were flying to China at this point. And this was before Wi-Fi was available on international flights. So, how do I support this client? No different than supporting your team. I called them because they were in another state. And my friends, I asked questions. I'm so sorry to hear this. Tell me more. Tell me more. The 7 questions that I lay out for you in Leadership Operating System, I used in this process. You are not going to believe what I found. I found that all of this came down to 2 column headers on a report we were sending. That basically they didn't know what they were. They didn't understand what the column headers meant. We were calling it apples. They needed it called oranges. For real. This was a 90-minute conversation with a behemoth client that was solved by just asking great questions and listening. Not defending, just listening. I was able to get the results they needed within about 10 minutes of getting off the phone, sending them live data. They actually reneged their offer and said, we want to stay with you. We want to keep staying with you. And I got great job security from that. They said it was because Emily listened and cared. All I did was ask them questions. That's it. Asking questions is support. Do not overcomplexify support. I had a boss who said that we love to complexify things. I don't even know if complexify is a word, but I love it. Support, I think a lot of us are worried that it's going to take 10 hours a week to support our team, or that support only comes in money, or support only comes in gifts. Support comes from right here and just asking a lot of great things. And again, it's so simple. It's so simple. So do not overcomplexify support, asking questions, spending potentially 10 minutes with someone and asking the right questions can make all the difference and change the game in support. So support, I hope that was helpful. Now, let's talk about vision. Your team needs a vision. That sounds very intense. It sounds very complex. For instance, when I hear the term vision, I go to Martin Luther King and he's like, I have a dream. And it's so good, right? His speech is so good. So I think I need that kind of speech, right? I need such a great speech that I overcomplexify the situation. I make this harder than it needs to be. Plus, that's a great vision. We all know that that was an amazing vision and it's so good and your business needs something great like that, right? But on a Tuesday in February, what does that get you really, right? Not a lot. So what I will tell you is your team needs 2 visions. They need that I have a dream speech, right? They need that. But they don't need it every day. They need a weekly plan. What is your vision as the business owner for this week? Just this week. I call this the 1% plan. Because if you have a great plan for your team every week, you will move the needle 1% in your business. It seems so unsexy, my friends. It seems so simple. It is like the tortoise walking very slowly, and you think we are not accomplishing anything, except if you look back on this and you do it week over week, it's so simple that it starts to snowball. And your business, instead of growing 1% over the year, grows 52% over the year. Heck, take some weeks off and grow 46 to 48%, right? Sounds good. How is that possible? It's possible because you are not giving the I have a dream speech every week. You gave that speech. So you're saying, I got a plan. I got a plan for this week, and here is how I'm going to use you in this amazing plan for the business that we have created. So it's one thing to have a plan for yourself. It's quite another to have a plan of how you are utilizing everyone on your team. How are you leveraging your genius? And your genius is every single person on your team. How are you doing that week over week? It's not hard. It's not intense. So I want to share with you the things that are on this plan. And by the way, this is in the preparation section of the Leadership course, because I believe that preparation is how we actually get luck. So when preparation and opportunity meet, they birth luck. So preparation is key. If you as the business owner are not prepared, you're like, I don't know what we're going to do this week. We're going to do some stuff. You should know what we're doing. Never assume. Should is a bad word. Let's just not should, right? Let's just not do that. So what I would rather do is I would rather you embrace what is possible within a week. And I show you exactly how to do this very simply, so that your team not only knows what you are doing, which is key. So many business owners do not share what they personally are doing in the business. Calls you have, opportunities you're working on, courses you're creating. Are you sharing that? Because your team needs to know what you're doing too. And then what each person is tasked with in your mind, making it an open-ended conversation. That is so key. I started doing this in the corporate world, and I thought it seemed really simple. Like, it's not hard. But what I realized was, as my team grew, it became even more important, because all of a sudden, this one email that was so simple was the thing that everyone leaned on. Not only to know what I was doing, but what everybody else was doing. How can I support this person? I didn't even see these things coming, and that's what happened, because they saw what each other were doing. So it built depth and breadth within the organization with small changes every week. And it became our Bible. And here's the other thing I will tell you. When you are small about the changes that you're making and the vision, so this is like the grass level view of the change, right? It's amazing how in line everyone stays. They are all aligned. They are marching down the same path. When you do not do this, so let's go back to you onboarded the person, right? Go with God. Enjoy. I will see you later. They kind of like veer off after a while. Like they're marching down, but then they're like, oh, this looks interesting. Maybe I'll try this, and let me do this, and let me do that. And they're not getting any weekly cadence. They're not getting any rhythm, any feedback, which is also incredibly important, and that's support in and of itself. But I want you to know that that can drive so much change. So think of this as, I love an analogy. You're bowling. You're bowling with your kids, right? You can actually put those bumpers up on the side so that the ball stays in the lane and you can bowl and they can hit balls. That's what you do for your business. And when you give them weekly information that shouldn't take you long to put together, by the way, because I give you all this. I'm going to give you all this. It is the game changer. It is the thing that makes people create, produce, see the change, and march to the drum that you want to create. So vision seems crazy, super complex, but we want the plan. What is that, right? If you're giving that to your team, they will flourish. And finally, the little known fact that people are terrified of, this strikes fear in the hearts of business owners everywhere. Managers, leaders, y'all, they hate giving their employees space. Because space sounds so unproductive. I need to make sure that my team is productive. And productivity only happens if they are tasked to death. That is not true. That is the complexified version of basically killing productivity on your team. You need a little wiggle room. You need some space. So not only do we need space for tasks, so there's a good chance that you are underestimating the amount of time it's taking your team to do great, exceptional work. So good work, sure, right? Task the hell out of them and they will do good work, subpar work. Give them a little space, give them a little more time, and their work will excel. The quality will excel. You are giving them time to think through things. The majority of us need a chance to think about something, create it, come back to it, massage it, and then produce it properly. So space is very important. Now, how are you screwing this up? Tasking them to death, that's one. Complexifying. Woo! If they don't have all these tasks, then they're not productive. Complexity out the wazoo. When you go back to the training section, what do they do? Why did you hire them? What change are they creating in the organization? Saving money, saving time, increasing revenue? It's not about all the tasks. It's about how they're affecting change, right? That is why space matters. Here's the other thing though, and it is micromanaging. Micromanaging is complex. And let me share with you why micromanaging is complex. Because if you think about micromanaging, let's say you have a team of 4 people. You're going to micromanage them, right? So that means you are probably sending individual messages to these people multiple times a week, maybe a day. You are meeting with these people multiple times a week, multiple times a day. Hey, Carol, did you do the thing? Hey, did you do the thing? Did you get the thing done? Did you do the thing? Okay, so you are not productive. You are actually wasting your own time because you're spending all of your time in and out of messages and meetings with people that are resenting you. And they're going to do less great work because you are on them. And if they do one thing, you're going to criticize. So it actually stifles creativity. People don't feel safe. When somebody doesn't feel safe, the cause and effect part of their brain shuts down. It's not effective. And you are having to keep up with all these conversations. Did I talk to this person? Did I do this thing? And what did you actually accomplish? Nothing. You became a glorified babysitter. And when I hear people say this, that means they're not great leaders, because that is not what leadership is. You should not have to be doing that. What you should be doing is things far surpassing that, right? So micromanaging actually frees up your time to do great work, and it frees up your team to feel safe to do great work for you. So Don't do the complex thing of micromanaging. Give your team space. Now, how do you know if you've given your team enough space or too much space? What does that look like? Support. Go back to support. Ask some questions. Don't worry, I give them to you. So, today is all about uncomplexifying, right? These tiny little strategies for big results. So let's review one more time that you want to have training that really just breaks everything down to what does this person do? What are the resources they have? How do they affect change in the business? That's it. What kind of change are you looking for from them? That's it. What does support look like? Asking great questions. So make sure you are supporting your team by asking great questions and closing your mouth and listening so that you can remove assumption, because that will kill your business. Vision. It is great to have a Martin Luther King speech, but that does not get work done on a daily basis or a weekly basis. You need a weekly plan, the 1% plan, so that everybody understands where everybody else is. The bumpers in the business so that they can move the ball forward and hit the pins. And finally, space. You need to be giving your team space so that they can do great work. Stop micromanaging. It's killing your productivity and theirs. Now, if any of this excited you, I would actually love to do an audit of your specific business. And so what I would love to do is in the comments, you can write the word shift, SHIFT, and I will reach out to you personally to jump on a call and audit your business to see where these holes lie so that we can simplify these areas and create a plan that works for your business, taking out rigidity, taking out complexity, and actually replacing it with productivity, sales, and giving you your time back. I hope this sounds exciting to you. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Keep it simple.